welcome to episode 3 of The Day Away from Her Point of View with me, Isabel.
And me, Charlotte. Well, today, what we're going to do, as usual, we're going to start off with some news.
Woohoo!
Part of the last week or so. So I'm going to start with some quite disappointing news, to be honest. Injuries. We all hate injuries, especially when it's Jimmy Keohan.
Stop it.
Alex
Breaks my heart.
Even worse now, Alex Newberry, my fave, gutted. And then obviously later on in the week, there was a bit of a mystery actually, wasn't there? Like, is it Lynch? Is it Coleman? Nothing got mentioned. And then obviously on the day of the Hartlepool game, we all saw that it was Coleman because Lynch were in there. So yeah, just the Jimmy Keohan one is a really big miss. He's broken his foot, so we're talking at least 4 months, aren't we?
Yeah, it's going to be a while that he's out, but hopefully once he gets back fit again, he can make himself back into the starting squad because he is one of our key players.
It really is, and that Steve, I think it was Stevenage, wasn't it, when he obviously got injured, and he carried on playing with a broken foot.
How do you carry on playing with a broken foot?
Typical tough nut Irishman.
I know.
I'd be crying.
I'd be so dramatic. I'd be rolling over, making them carry me up on a stretcher, not carry on playing.
I'd be doing a Gillian McKeith like I nearly did when I saw Grant Holt the other day. That was funny when you tagged me in that video. I just literally seen it after I walked past him, nearly did a feint. I was like, oh. But yeah, enough about me doing a Gillian McKeith. I know. Be funny to see. But yeah, Alex Newberry, apparently with Newberry, it's a groin injury. So I'm not actually too sure how long he's out for, but he is some miss, Alex Newberry, really is. And the last 3 games that he's not played, it's just, is it 3 or is it 4?
I think
it's 4.
Maybe, but we're just missing that skill set in the middle, and it's just very frustrating. Obviously, we've got Liam Kelly still, and we've had Conor Grant for a couple of games, but you just are missing that number 10 role of Newberry and the way that he leads the midfield. Yeah,
100%, and just his footwork, his running at players, just his skills. He's not shy of having shots, is he, as well? So yeah, we're really missing noobs. And then obviously Coleman, which is one of them where I'm wondering, has he done it recently, or is this one of the reasons that Lynch has been playing? Obviously he has been he was in form, Lynch. He got rewarded for obviously after the Notts County game. But do you reckon Coleman has had a niggling injury and that's why he's not been playing, or has he just done it in training?
Do you know what? That is a shout, you know. I never actually thought about that. Maybe there has become a problem and Lynch has had to step up and play more games. However, after the Notts County game, I do agree that he deserved that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I
think it could be either or. But either way, I really hope it's not serious.
I know, me too. Especially with the list, it seems to be getting longer and longer, doesn't it?
And it's key players. That's for starting players, skillful players.
Exactly. I'm just glad AD White's back as well, because at least now that's another number to add into the mix, because it's just like, it's as if we seem to get a player back and then we lose another player.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Now, aside from all the negatives, we have had some positive news this week. Abraham Ado has signed a new deal, which is extending his stay at Rochdale until summer of 2023, with an option in the club's favour for an extra year. So that's very, very positive news. I'm happy with that. What about you, Charlotte?
Honestly, I'm so happy with that, because you just, with Ado, you can see, obviously he's not scored many goals, don't get me wrong. He didn't really have chance on the BBM. We signed him and then I don't know what happened. I don't know whether he didn't have match fitness, whether he just didn't fit the formation at the time. I don't know what happened there. But under Stockdale, he seems to be playing. He's obviously not scoring, but none of our forwards are really like,
that's a different part of the podcast.
Exactly. We've not been popping them in for fun, really, have we? So I just think he should be rewarded, and is a great young player. He's only 20. Is he 20, 21?
Yeah, only young.
Yeah, he's only young as well. So yeah, I think he could, obviously this season and the next couple of seasons, I think he could be one of our key players. And the really good thing is as well, and we're obviously gonna get onto it a little bit further, but the Exeter game when he played in defence, I thought it was excellent. It was was he left wing back?
Yeah, honestly, that game, what an excellent performance from him. Like the left wing back role that game, he just fit in it so well. Like one of the first chances that Exeter had, he was just so fast. Like literally, it was between I don't know who it was, their striker and Lynch. But then all of a sudden, Abraham just comes and absolutely
didn't he, out of nowhere? just like popped up.
He's just so fast.
It really is. It reminds me of like before, obviously, the first spell we had Matty Doan before he left and went to, I think it was Barnsley. Mm-hmm. It reminds me his pace of like that, because I know obviously he's older now. He's still got some pace, but he's not as quick as he was. But yeah. Matty Doan the pace he had back in the day, it was unbelievable. Yeah. Some other news as well, which I think is really fantastic actually. Our under 15 side have actually played in the EFL Floodlit campaign, and the first two opening games they've won 4-0 and they've won 6-0. So a few young prospects there that could possibly be in our starting 11 soon, hopefully.
Can they teach our first team attackers a thing or two, please?
I know, and clean sheets as well. So they've scored
tremendous.
Conceded no goals, so go on, lads.
No, but honestly, well done, lads. That's really pleased to hear, especially from our youth team. We've always liked to bring up our youth team, but to hear that we are winning and keeping clean sheets like that is brilliant. So well done, lads.
Yeah, well done, guys.
In other news as well, one of our other young players, Joe Dunn, has joined Stafford Rangers on a 1-month loan deal. Obviously, Dunn has made a lot of appearances in like the Papa John's Trophy, stuff like that. But I think this will be a nice little month for him to get away from Rochdale and have some game time.
Yeah, but it'll give him a little bit of experience as well, because obviously, like you were saying, he has featured in some of the Papa John's Trophy. But was that more under BBM more than anything? I don't think he's featured much this season, has he?
I think he's only featured once, and that was when we played Liverpool under 21s.
Yeah, so a bit of experience, just a nice little break away from Rochdale.
Yep.
Yeah, and talking about loan players as well, obviously Brad Wade has had to come back from his loan, hasn't he, as well? Because obviously Coleman injury. So obviously he didn't get to finish off his loan spell, but I believe it's been quite good, from what I've heard.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of clean sheets by him and a lot of good saves on Twitter and stuff like that. So it'd be good for the lad to get that experience and then come back into the first team. Yeah,
100%. And hopefully, like, no disrespect to our keepers or anything, but it'd be nice, obviously, if he did, like, feature all us Dale fans did get to see him a little bit more, because it seems like he's been there, but he's only young, but it seems like we've known about him and he's been at the club for a while, but we've not really seen much of him, have we?
No, mainly like little cup games like the Papa John's Trophy or something like that. We haven't seen him at all in the league. So if he's getting better and he's going to these loan clubs and keeping clean sheets, then he could be up there with the competition.
Yeah, he could definitely be in the running. The last bit of news, and all us Dale fans know this, I've always really liked him, and I could see glimpses of quality in this guy, but I think from being in defence with O'Connell and Taylor the last couple of games, he's really coming on and he's really improving. And yeah, Jarell Dorset is just a legend.
Dorset, I love you.
Dorset for Prime Minister.
Literally tweeted that because of the game at the weekend against Hartlepool. He played the best I've ever seen him. He has improved so much, but that Hartlepool game, he really exceeded and was the best defender in the squad that game. But honestly, absolute legend, playing amazingly well at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to be fair as well, I thought he had a really good game against Plymouth. And Aaron Morley got man of the match that game, but I honestly think Jarell Dorset was up there.
Mm-hmm. No,
up there with him. I think he could have got man of the match. I think he really could. So I'm really happy to see him improving.
Yeah, hopefully the next couple of games as well, he keeps his up and don't go downhill. Because honestly, God, I'm gonna get his name on the back of my shirt if he carries on.
We need you to score now, Jarell.
Yeah, just help the attackers out, will you?
Yeah, please do. But yeah, we've got quite a few games again, haven't we, to get through a bit of match analysis.
Yes, we've got 3 games this week.
So what we'll do first, we'll start with, it seems like forever ago. It was only last week. No, the week before. Oh my God, the week before. Wow. Exeter at home.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Isabel, what did you think?
It's just, I like Beasley, I do, but he's just not on the ball at the moment. I mean, come on, in the first half of the game, we had a penalty. You're thinking, great, this is us to be 1-0 up and we can get some confidence. It was the worst penalty I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly,
he steps up, hits the ball.
He went the wrong way as well, didn't it? He went the wrong way and he still missed.
Honestly, God, like, in some ways I feel sorry for Lad because he's just got no confidence now. He really doesn't, and I bet that didn't help. However, if he wants to be that number 9 role, if he wants to be our main striker, he's got to up his game.
I think what makes it worse as well is we've not had a penalty all season.
No.
You're really excited anyway because you're like, yes, we've finally got a penalty. We've not seen one of these in a while. And then it's like, oh.
Great.
It wasn't even as if the keeper saved it and we could have been like, oh, fair enough. Keeper made a good save. Like, it's one of them, isn't it, with a penalty? Like, 50-50 chance you're either going to score or you're not going to score. So, but for the keeper to go the wrong way and then you still hit the post, it's just frustrating. And it's just a bit of how it's going so far for us. We just don't seem to have anything going for us. It's
like if we lose 1-0, it's doable for us to get a draw. It's just not doable for us to win at the moment and get 2 goals. It's also frustrating. It's like we can only score 1 goal at the moment. We're not scoring 2 goals, even 3 goals. We're just scoring the 1 each game, and it's just so frustrating because every time I feel like we go 1-0 down, I always think, well, we're not winning this now. We can't score 2 because we're just not scoring. I saw Dan Ingham's tweet.
Again, shout out to you, Dan. Be on here.
The tweet.
The stat man.
He said 3 and 9 for Andrews, 5 and 20 for Beasley, 5 and 17 for Newberry, 1 and 20 for Abraham, and 2 and 15 for Danny Cashman. We are like getting these chances, but we're not scoring, and all our attackers, midfielders and strikers, like 5 of our players, I think, how many is that altogether? Out of 5 players, it's only Count.
I failed maths. So
16 goals in 5 players.
And you think Ian Henderson used to score more than that a season, just him?
Wow, it's just not good enough at the moment. Now, it's like less than a goal a game if we combine all the goals scored by our front 5. We average 13.5 shots a game in the league. How do we average over 10 shots and have only got 16 goals between the 5 of them?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? And you think like the number of chances we are creating.
Yeah.
It's like from the stats, we had 14 shots. They had Exeter had 11. They had 7 out of 11 on target. We had 4 out of 14 on target.
We're just not good enough. Our front line is just not good enough at the moment. We're making these chances. We're just not doing anything about them, not finishing them off. That's what's so frustrating.
And it's even more frustrating because obviously we're not putting the chances away, but then our defence leak goals for fun. Leak them for fun.
I know. They're just as bad. So it's the front and the back end at the moment. However, I will say at the Exeter game, Lynch had a good game. I thought Lynch did some great saves. And also, we've got to give a shout out to Max Taylor for that screamer of a goal.
That 20-yard rocket.
Wow. Honestly, I remember thinking, oh, Jesus, Max Taylor's not going to shoot, is he? He's going to go right over to Sandy Lane. Like, no. What a screamer. Great goal from Max Taylor. I thought it was well deserved.
Honestly, and as well, I'm quite happy to see at the minute. Josh Andrews seems to be up there. Like, he's having the chances, but obviously, I'm sure, was it Andrews who assisted Taylor? I think it was.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but I'm really happy to see that he's contributing because obviously we saw glimpses of it, but then he got injured. Yeah. And honestly, I just think like having him contributing at the minute is just, yeah, I'm really impressed with him. Really impressed.
Hopefully this is the start of a bit of a turnaround for our strikers. Hopefully Josh Andrews can bring it up a level.
Yeah, we really do, because it's one of them as well. It's like, obviously, Grant started as well, but it's like he got the penalty, got fouled in the area, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like with Conor Grant at the minute, we spoke about this last time. I just don't think it's going right for him at the minute, and it's frustrating to see because I do like Conor Grant. I think he's a great player, but I just think I think at the minute he gets bullied off the ball too easily, and I just don't think it's the Conor Grant we saw glimpses of last season, because obviously he had Ollie Rathbone with him last season. It was obviously with Ollie Rathbone, he's absolute quality. He's a really big miss to us, but I just haven't seen that Conor Grant this season that we did last, and he's not obviously featured as much. He's been poorly with COVID, then he's not been in the team, but when he has featured, I've just not been that impressed with him this season.
I don't know what it is. Maybe he was one of them players at the start of the season that was a bit annoyed that BBM left, because obviously I think he played well under BBM. Maybe he's not happy with the new manager. Maybe he just don't fit with how a new manager wants him to play. But I do see the same. Like, I remember when he came on and Keohane got injured at the Stevenage game, and I just thought, he don't fit in. He's either nervous or he's really not fitting in at the moment. But obviously he did start for the Plymouth game in the FA Cup.
Yeah, we'll go on to the Plymouth game now, actually, because I just think overall it was like Robbie Stockdale said, it was a celebration after everything we've all been through as a club. During the summer, like getting rid of all these people wanting to take over. Obviously, there was a lovely preview on David Clough, bless him.
Oh, I know, so
bless
sweet.
Him. I cried.
Yeah, really hard.
What a man. What a man. And just that money he saved up, and it's like Grant Holt actually said it, obviously, because he was on the team, wasn't he, on the TV, and just it would be amazing for the guy to know like what he has actually done for the club, because he'd just be there with the biggest smile on his face, wouldn't he? Like,
oh, I know. And that statue in the main stand now, it's right, the same like staircase that I go up to, he's at the front and I'm a couple of rows behind, and it's just really nice to see. Like, a lot of the fans will pat him on the shoulder or say a couple of words to him. It's really like a really lovely tribute,
honestly. And it's like on the TV as well, in the interviews, and it's just like people can turn around like in generations. Like, we've been going since we were like young girls with our dads and stuff, and just years to come and years to come, they can say, well, this is a guy who secured Rochdale and he saved our club. He was devoted to Rochdale. He did absolutely everything for him. He used to cycle, bless him, in all weathers, collecting money for Gold Bond, and everything that he owned, he gave to the club, and it's secured our club, hasn't it?
It really has.
Yeah. What a man.
Great man.
But yeah, moving on to the actual game, like Robbie said, it was a celebration. We're on TV. Obviously, the money we got from TV is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But how well did we play? And how it's like the same story again and again.
We played so well. Like, overall, it was such a better team performance. Obviously, they are going to step it up. They're on TV and they're playing a team in a league above them, so they are going to step it up. However, it's just so frustrating, the result.
Honestly, and so close to the end as well. I think it was the 86th minute. And yet again, the defending, like, what was the defending? Seriously.
I know. However, as we're saying, the first goal was offside.
That was a joke.
And the second goal, the ball was nowhere near like the corner line. Like, it was nowhere near. It was past the line. How the line? Oh, don't even get me started on this. I was furious after the game.
Do you know what was more frustrating as well? Just before they got the corner and obviously went and scored, there was a foul on, was it Beasley?
Yeah.
And he didn't give it. There was a foul. We should have had a free kick. And honestly, I'm not making excuses up, because at the end of the day, yet again, we didn't score our chances. We didn't finish them. We obviously leaked goals again, conceded because of sloppy defending. Yeah. So we brought it on ourselves, but it does not help when we get referees of that standard.
Yeah, no, 100%. Obviously, at the time, you're like, well, it's not our fault, it's the official's fault. However, looking back at it, it's the same old, we can't defend, we lose the ball and just lose interest. It's just so frustrating. Saying that, Morley's goal, another rocket. Banger. Oh my word, what a goal.
This makes me like, this frustrates me as well, because you see goals like that and you see like the ability of what Liam Kelly can do. We've seen goals from Liam Kelly previously as well, but sometimes I just feel like when our strikers or our midfielders are like in the box, they seem to flap at the ball when it comes down and then pass it, and it's like, just have a shot, just go for it. Have a shot.
Yeah, it's like they take one too many chances and then it's too late, and then they've messed it up and they can't have a shot because of like the defenders have took it off them, or they just not got the right pace. But you just need to learn, touch it and shoot. Like,
yeah, especially when we've seen goals in the last two games from, obviously, like, you've got your Aaron Morley, your Max Taylor. Just go for it, because us as fans would rather see us try and shoot and like that, like, even if them goals don't go in, we've had a shot, we've tried, rather than be frustrated because we're watching the players just be scared of the ball, not know what they're doing when the ball comes to them, and just basically flap. That's what they're doing, they're just flapping at it.
100%. And at half time, Grant Holt did say, we are creating so many chances. but we're just not finishing them. Now, obviously, he thought second half we need to be at the end of them goals. However, we know as Vale fans, we're not.
We need Grant Holt that day.
Yes.
We need Grant Holt.
Yes.
Get out of his normal clothes. Get his kit on.
Get his boots on.
It's like, again, stats. We had 55%. I can't even speak. 55% possession to their 45. We had 13 shots to their 12, and we had 5 of them on target.
It's just not good enough. Now, I think this is the moment for me. I was like, we need a striker in January window. We need to get a striker. I'm done now. I've given Beasley enough chances and the rest of the attackers, and even though Andrews looks to be coming out more of his shell, we need a striker.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it's like with Beasley, and we've known in the past, Robbie Stockdale ain't shy of dropping players.
No.
But I just feel like sometimes with Beasley, like, he doesn't get dropped like some of the other players. And honestly, like I said, I think he's great. I like him, but maybe he does need that little break. Even if it's for one game, just try something new.
Yeah.
Just try something new. And it in a way, obviously, I don't know if he's not doing it because obviously his work ethic is fantastic. He'll just run and run. He'll try so hard, but when it comes to obviously finishing the chances and scoring the goals, it's just not in form at the minute.
No. And I think, obviously, Plymouth side absolutely gutted to have lost 2-1, especially in the final minutes, but also to be out of the cup. We focus on the league now, as we always say. So we had Hartlepool on Tuesday night. Like we've already said, Dorset, I love you.
What a guy.
Man of the match, easily that game. Easily man of the match for me. Now, I think he was the best defender of the night. Max Taylor, I was a little bit disappointed with. On both goals, it just looks like he was giving up. As soon as the striker, a centre forward, got the ball, he was like, "Oh well, we're going to score now." It's like he just doesn't have that intensity to go and tackle them or go and put them off. It's like, oh well.
Yeah, I was watching it, and from the start, I thought, do you know what? Our defence, I tweeted it as well. I thought our defence today is just not with it. You had Owen O'Connell, who just looked like he was in a foul mood, just bickering at everyone.
Yeah.
Him and Lynch on, I think it was a couple of occasions, just didn't communicate, totally misread each other, which could have cost us more goals. And I think there was also another time where O'Connell and Taylor were too busy bickering at each other that they almost let them score.
Yeah.
And I just think, don't get me wrong, we're all human. We all get frustrated. But I just think sometimes with our defence, and it's happened previous seasons to it, I just think we lack that communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's great that Max Taylor is now starting. As we said in the other podcast, we really want him to start. Maybe it's his time to shine. It's good that he's getting that experience next to our captain. However, I think O'Connell needs to just chill out a little bit. Like, we all have our bad games. We all have our bad days, like you said. He just doesn't look completely in games at the moment, O'Connell, because he's just so frustrated at other players.
Yeah, I feel like with O'Connell, he's one. Honestly, I think he's a fantastic player. He's one of my favourites as well.
100%.
But I feel like sometimes it can be a bit like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes it can be quite sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
But as well, they just seem to, instead of communicating, they just seem to snap at each other. And it's like I said, it's even with, there was a couple of times with him and Lynch where just any normal defenders as a defender, you'd just speak to your keeper, and as a keeper, you'd be like, oh, I'm going for this kind of thing. We both went for it, and it's just like, these are the things that are costing us goals. It's like corners, set pieces.
When the other team has a free kick or a corner, I fully expect them to score, because we are so rubbish at set pieces, especially corners. When we have a corner, sometimes I don't look. Sometimes I do not look when the other team has a corner, because I just have this instinct we're going to score, because the amount of corners that we concede, it's ridiculous. And that's how I think most of the time, out of all the goals that we've conceded this season, majority will be from corners.
Honestly, what I don't understand is as well, like, this isn't just this season. This has happened under numerous managers. So what's going on? I personally don't think we have had, since obviously you've got your Craig Dawson, since Craig Dawson, we've not really had a stable defence. Obviously, we've had loan spells from obviously Jack O'Connell. I think, is he still at Sheffield United? He was a good defender. We obviously had the season with Lancashire, Ashley Eastham, as well, which was fairly good down to a T. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't perfect, but it were decent. But since those, I don't think we've had a solid defence where we've not conceded. Like, I've honestly, every time now, and this has happened for the past, I'd say, like, it sounds dramatic, but it seems like the past, like, 5 seasons or something. We've literally, like, every time we get a corner or a free kick, I just think, do you know what? They're scoring. I don't know what's going on, but like I said, it's not even just under Stockdale. It happened under Brian Barry Murphy. Obviously, keep feeling his second spell for us. I just don't think, since obviously, like, them defenders who I mentioned, I think since then we've never really had that defensive partnership or that defensive, like, I don't know whether it's because of a formation, whether it's, I honestly can't even explain why, like, why we concede and lead so many goals.
No, I 100% agree. Is it the formation? Is it we can't defend corners? Like, I don't know what it is. I really don't. It's really frustrating as well, like you said, because we both have said when we get a conceded corner, my heart sinks. It's almost like it's a penalty for them, because we just expect them to score because we concede that many corners. Sorry. Yeah,
but then as well, it's like, as I said as well, is it because of lack of communication as well? Is it just because they don't seem to speak to each other? It's like the Plymouth game. I honestly wouldn't have took Andrews off, because I felt more confident, and it's bad when you feel more confident of your striker, like, defending, but because he's so big, he wins headers. I took him off. I genuinely wouldn't, because it's like having, even though he's a forward, just because of his height, his clearances, it's like having an extra defender. I feel more confident when it sounds bad, I feel more confident when he's defended to our actual defenders.
Yeah. Talking about Andrews, though, great goal from Andrews. Really great goal from Andrews against Liverpool. You know, a nice curve into the back of the net. And I think it's one of the positive, like I said, he obviously assisted in the last game and now scored. So this could be a good run for him. Fingers crossed, anyway. Hopefully, when we play Bristol Rovers this weekend, he brings that positivity into play. Also, another positivity, Cashman came on.
Oh, honestly, Cashman, it's about time we saw Cashman.
For at least 10 minutes.
Oh, honestly, but the worrying thing with Cashman is, obviously we were on the Access All Areas podcast with Coventry fans, weren't we? Yeah. Which was such a fun podcast.
Very fun.
But
very fun.
Since then we've obviously been speaking to a few Coventry fans, and they seem to think, obviously, if Cashman, like any other club, if your player's not getting the minutes, not getting the experience, will he get recalled in January, do you reckon? Because obviously he's not been playing. It was featuring at the start. He's not been playing. Like, why would you want your player on a season-long loan to not feature?
Well, I remember the commentary fans saying he is more of a number 10, like behind the number 10 player, and Robbie Stockdale has been playing him more on the wing. So it's whether he actually does fit into the squad. However, I don't understand why Robbie's not playing him whilst Newberry's been injured in that number 10 role. I really don't understand it. To me, that's perfect. Now that Newberry is out for a little bit, whether it's a long time or just a couple of games, he has a go at that number 10 spot.
Yeah, exactly. And this is another thing. Like we've seen in the last like few games now, we seem to be playing the same team. Like whether it's like the odd change here and there, like AD White came in for Conor Grant at Hartlepool, but it seems to be a similar team. Which is that our first team? Why not try something different? Why not mix the formation up kind of thing? Because that could bring the best out of Cashman. It might not. We have to take these risks because at the minute, don't get me wrong, we're making the chances, but we're not scoring. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need something new and just try something.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Maybe it's time for a little bit of a squad change. Like I said before, Robbie Stockdale is not shy of dropping players. Maybe it's time to take it under the belt and drop Wheeler to the bench. Now that Newberry's injured, bring Cashman on, give more chances, because I would rather see some positive changes and us trying to change and sort this situation at the moment where we're not scoring and we're not doing well defending, trying to see some change, than to keep the same squad every time and doing the exact same thing.
Exactly. And like we've both mentioned in our last podcast, I think January is key for us, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That transfer window, we need to be very positive about that, and we need to get a striker in. Do you think we need a defender in as well now? Definitely need a defender in. I wasn't sure a couple of games ago, but now I'm like, yeah, we need a defender and a striker. Bring back Craig Dawson.
Yeah, 100. I wish. Do you know who I really used to love? I used to love Scott Wiseman.
Scott Wiseman! He was a dirty player. He was brilliant. He was like
Scott Wiseman. What a throwback. I think, do you know what? He had some pace about him as well, didn't he?
And he were afraid to get that ball off other people, whether he had to bloody punch him or...
He got stuck in. I love Scotty Wiseman. But yeah, I just think overall, like with our match analysis, I think we've just come to the decision that we need to stop conceding goals. Our defense needs to communicate, and we just need to try and just have a shot, but don't flap at the ball, just have a shot. And we just need to turn these chances into goals because like I said, with our defence, more often than not, we're gonna concede. No matter what game, we're gonna concede. So our attackers need to, because it's pretty much a must, isn't it, that in each game we are going to be either one goal or 2 goals down.
Yeah,
because we just leak them for fun. And like we mentioned, it's been an ongoing thing, hasn't it, in previous seasons? And I think maybe it's because we play more attacking football as well. I don't know.
This feels like
I really don't know.
Quite negative match analysis, but it's what's happening. You know, I'm like feeling after the Hartlepool game, I was like, like really low about it, and it just
really defeated.
Yeah, this is just what we've said. What needs to be done? We just need to see them in games now.
Yeah, and it's one of them where obviously we don't want to come across as negative fans. We really don't, because we're playing some great football. We really are. And it's one of them where I'm excited to go and watch us because of the football we're playing, but it's just frustrating because obviously I'm not saying we're going to get, obviously, you don't come across many like Grant Halts, Adam Lafondres, your Ian Hendersons anymore, but we just need someone. It might even be Josh Andrews, like he's coming on, he's doing great at the minute. It might even be Josh Andrews, like, but we just need so I just think we need something new, whether that be Cashman, whether it be obviously a new player in January, I don't know, but I think when you've got someone like Cashman sat on the bench, it just feels like I'm doing a Cashman fan club here, doesn't it? Honestly, when you've got someone with that ability on the bench who could obviously, like I said, who fits the number 10 role, I just feel like, obviously, we've seen in previous games, him and O'Keefe link up very well together.
Yeah.
Maybe that is what we need. It might not be, but just give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a go. If it don't work, it don't work. But like I said before,
yeah.
I'd rather see changes than and them going wrong than to just do the same squad, the same formation, the same tactics over and over, and us not doing great and not scoring and keep conceding.
Yeah.
You know, it is it is the day away that we are very, what's the word, like unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen on each game. Like, for example, Hartlepool lost the last 5 games before this match, and we were 8.
Yeah.
And now look what happened. They won, we lost.
It's like the Oldham game, isn't it? Where obviously we were doing well.
Yeah.
They were near bottom, or was the bottom at the time? I think they might have actually been bottom at the time. And then football's football. But like we were saying, I just think we just try something new. Obviously, until it's January soon. Yeah. Hopefully get some new additions, even if that means, like, obviously having to drop some players, just try something new, whether it be loan players, whether it be, I can't see us permanently signing someone, because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we get O'Keefe permanently. So I can't really see us being able to sign like a striker permanently, but a loan signing, like just any striker, please.
Come to Rochdale.
And TV. We'll have a look.
Right, I think we should move on from match analysis. Let's have a bit of positivity, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So on Twitter today, we asked if anybody had any questions for this podcast, and we had quite a few come in. So first question from Stephen: with the problems of sustainability in the lower leagues, would you be for or against becoming a feeder club to a Premier League team if it meant you would never go out of business like Bury or Macclesfield? What an interesting question.
I personally think I would possibly say we have been a feeder club in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like, you look, a lot of people, because we're Rochdale, a lot of people don't actually see us as a feeder club, but we've had some great players, haven't we, like, come through our system and obviously go on to better things. Or we've had, obviously, players come to our club who haven't been doing very well, have found the feet at Rochdale, like your Chris O'Grady's, your Grant Holt, even Ian Henderson at the time. He wasn't doing very well. He seemed to have a bit of a stop-start like career, then obviously came to Rochdale, found his feet. So I personally think it's like with us as well, with our finances, obviously, to survive, we do have to sell players on, don't we?
Yeah.
It's like, I remember, I think I mentioned it on the last podcast that we were on, both of us. And I always remember it sticking with me about Adam Lafondra. He said that obviously he didn't want to at the time move. He wanted to stay at Rochdale, but we weren't financially like capable of keeping him at the club. And he actually sat in the dressing room and cried and cried and cried because he didn't want to leave the club. And yeah, I think personally, I wouldn't say we're like it happens like constantly, but I would actually say like we are a little bit of a feeder club.
We can, I think we have done in the past. We've shown that we can promote youth players and like bringing our youth players into our first team, or help, like you said, help players find their feet. Like you've got like Sanchez, who's now starting for Brighton. Obviously, Bazunu last season he's playing like international football for Ireland.
He saved a Ronaldo penalty.
Did. Oh, because of Rochdale. So there is a little bit to that. We are, I think, we are a little bit of a feeder club, and I wouldn't mind it if it meant that we wouldn't be in the position like Bury or Macclesfield. I'm all for it because nobody wants that, anything but that for any club. So I would be for it if it was like last resort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Next question from Dan Ingham again. Nail a five-a-side question, one turn each. So
I'll let you go first.
I go first.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm gonna have in net the Man Mountain Lyncher.
I'll just go with Coleman then, because obviously I've not seen much of Brad Wade, so just go with the second option, even though he's injured.
Okay, so you know who I'm gonna say.
Corey.
Corey O'Keefe. Love of my life.
Oh man, do I go with after seeing Jarell Dorset, do I go with Jarell or do I stick with Captain Fantastic himself?
Well, you know that whoever you choose, I'm going to have the other one.
Do you know what? I've got to go with Owen O'Connell. Honestly, I love Jarell, but I can't. He's our captain. I cannot ditch the captain, can I? So Owen O'Connell.
Fair enough. I'm going for Dorset. I'm going to be more defensive. Even though O'Keefe has shown that he's attacking side as well, so.
Do I want to go all attacking? Actually, no, because he can't finish. Okay.
I don't say that. We can't defend, so.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with Owen O'Connell, but I'm going to mix it up a bit. I'm going to go for Aaron Morley, because I think he's got the ability to go, and this is what I mean. It's like, you watch Morley this season, under BBM, he wanted him to sit back. I just think under Stockdale, I think Aaron Morley's a different player, and he's shown that he's capable of doing both, and he's a stat man. I've seen on Twitter so many stats with Aaron Morley. So, yeah, I'm going for Aaron Morley.
Okay. Now, question is, Order Cashman or Liam Kelly? Oh, wow, this is so hard. Two players left. I'm going to go for my man, Cashman. I just trust him, and I need to see, I want to see him play. He needs to play because he just brings so much energy to us. And like I said before, Corey O'Keefe and a Cashman link up, we do like.
Well, what I'm going to go for is, because I'm scared of him getting taken and he's my favourite, I'm going to go for Alex Newberry. don't rob him, because imagine Cashman, Newberry and O'Keefe. So you're not having them free. I'm having you.
Right, okay. Who is my last player going to be? I'm just going to say Andrews, because I've got a good feeling about him now. I'm going to say Andrews because I'm going to say right here, right now, top goal scorer for Rochdale this season.
Andy's like having another defender, just with like how big.
Clean sheet and top goal scorer.
What do I do now? This is hard. Do you know what? I'm just going to have to go with a dough.
You'll outrun my players, I'll give you that.
Oh, I've got some quickens. So what's yours again, Isabel? And then I'll say mine.
Mine's Lynch, O'Keefe, Dorset, Cashman, Andrews.
I've gone all attack. Mine is Coleman, Owen O'Connell, Aaron Morley, Alex Newby, and Abraham Ado.
Comment on our podcast. Who's winning?
Who has got the better team?
Team Charlotte or Team Isabel?
You know what? We'll have to hashtag that. We'll have to finger.
Yes.
Team Charlotte and Team Isabel. We will. Honestly, we'll do that. That'd be funny. We'll have to get a five-a-side and like edit the teams and do us as picture our faces. We'll do that.
Okay, so some other questions. Favourite player in the club that doesn't, no, sorry, favourite player in the league that doesn't play for your club? Now, I'm going to say this now before you rob it. Dom Telford for Newport. He is the top goal scorer in League Two at the moment. He has scored 13 in 12 games. I mean, what an amazing start. We need him in Rochdale, please. So I'm going to rob it straight up and say Dom Telford. He's a great player, and I think he's going to be up there for top goal scorer in League Two this season.
That is a great shout. Do you know what? I don't really know. I don't know.
And you're not allowed to say Ian Henderson or Matthew Lund.
Do you know what? It wouldn't. I used to love Matty Lund, but just because of how like he'll come to us, he'll get back on his feet, he'll have a good season or a good few seasons, and then he does the dirty on us and just leaves us. And just honestly, just for that reason, I used to love Matty Lund, but he's on my hate list at the minute, and he's gone to Salford, which is even worse.
Yeah.
But who would I pick? This is a tough one.
It is, isn't it?
I can't even think off the top of my head.
You know, in some ways, who I think would he be good in our squad again? Harrison McGee. He's now off to Oldham.
Do you know what? I always found him a solid defender.
Yeah, so did I. However, when I saw him at the Oldham game, I didn't think he looked that spectacular when he played against us. However, was it just first game nerves or what? But I don't know. What everybody think? Harrison McGee back in the squad. What are we saying?
Yeah. Do you know what? My mind's gone totally blank. It's gone totally blank. Just anyone in League Two.
Anyone who can score in League Two.
Or a defender, a solid defender.
Okay, next question. Ideally, in January, who would you like to see brought in? Any particular names or what positions? I mean, we have already discussed we need a striker and a defender, but I don't think there's anyone in particular for me.
Do you know who I would honestly love to see? And he's scoring. It seems like I've got this big thing for Coventry, but he's scoring for fun. In there, like, I think, is it under 23s or something? But Tavares, I think he would be perfect back at Dale.
You know what?
I think, honestly, he knows the club.
Yeah.
He obviously, he scored for us, like, in past seasons. He's got the experience at a higher level, even though it's only the under 23s, but he's scoring for fun. So I would take that risk. I would honestly bring Tavares back in January on loan. I really would.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout, to be fair. And they can get that more league experience with us and then go back to Coventry. A feeder club, I'm telling you, we're a feeder club.
Yeah, plus, like I said, he knows the club anyway, doesn't he? From obviously, it's some of the players have changed now, don't get me wrong, but like Rochdale itself. And yeah, I think possibly that could be quite a good shout. So I would be more than happy with that. I really would.
We shall see if it happens. And last question, if you had the chance to bring back one ex-player for the rest of the season, who would it be and why? I'm going first.
I think we'll have the same.
Grant Holt. Because we need a finisher at the moment, and he is the best finisher Rochdale have ever seen. So if for this season alone we had to bring back an ex-player, it would be Grant Holt. With
me, I would just go for Ian Henderson, to be honest.
I knew you'd say Ian Henderson.
Honestly, either Ian Henderson, or what we could do is, because it was a class defender and it was a goal machine, bring back Craig Dawson.
You've got stop it.
And your goal scorers. You've got only one.
And the love of my life.
Exactly.
If Craig comes back, I am getting Dawson on the back of every shirt I own. That will be my dream come true if that happens.
Do you love how I didn't mention Paul Connor? I actually didn't mention him this time.
Yeah. It's a record.
I've moved on to better things. But yeah, I just they were really good questions actually. I'm quite impressed with questions.
Thank you everybody for submitting your questions. And if you have any more questions, make sure you send them before we do episode 4.
Yeah, we'll put another tweet out to ask people, because I think it's quite good. Like, we'd like to hear your views as well. Like, especially the question about January. Who would you like to see? And what positions do you think we do need improvements on? Yeah, but moving on today, obviously we're mentioning Twitter because that's a platform we are quite familiar with, and it's mostly the one for football, isn't it? Twitter, like, you get to know other fans, interact with people. But our Dale Not For Sale Twitter account actually tweeted a huge thread of what has been going on during the summer and the conclusion of their findings and what we've all found out. And oh my God.
It's just a bit like, it makes my stomach turn a little bit. It's like, what could have happened to our club?
Honestly, like, we're not going to mention any names on here.
No.
But you're more than welcome, and we'd appreciate it so much if you could look at this thread, because it's one of them where these people have been associated with a couple of clubs. Obviously, it was in the radar that they might take over our club as well. They've been linked to they've been linked to other clubs as well recently. And I just think not only just football fans, but people in general, because these football clubs, they're all part of a community. Like, every person, whether it be, even if you don't like football, you've got some sort of link to a football club, whether it be a family member who supports you at the football club, whether it be a family member or a friend who plays for the club. Everyone's got a link to football in some sort of way, even if you don't like it yourself. But I just think we need to spread the word to keep these kind of people away from football. And I just think it'd be amazing, because obviously social media is a really big platform.
Yeah.
Like, you've got people from around the world, you've got people who have connections with certain types of people. And I think if we could get some retweets of this particular thread, if people could tag podcasts in it to talk about the story, journalists, like newspaper articles, just anyone, MPs, just anyone with a voice that can help keep these people away from football clubs, because we've already lost, especially teams close to us, like obviously Bury, Macclesfield. It could have been us. It could have been us at the end of the day, and we just want to. We're not obviously going to save like people from doing this to football clubs, are we, Isabel? But
no.
we just want to spread the word to get these names out there and to stop them being part of running down.
Other clubs turn out how Bury did, and you know, we are Rochdale fans. We hate Bury. However, we don't want to see another club go the route that they've gone down. So spread the word, retweet, tag your MPs, any high authority figure on Twitter, and do not let these people into another club. Don't let them die like Bury. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants another football club to go downhill.
Really appreciate that, guys. So yeah, if you could do that, then it would mean the world to us.
Up for sale, not for sale.
Yeah, up for sale, and we're not for sale. But yeah, just want to really, it's coming to an end now, but we just want to mention we've got a competition on at the minute. And I know, and we're so grateful, because honestly, I received in the post some gifts of footy towels, and you can find them on social media. They've got a website, and oh my god, they were so generous. They sent me an up the Dale, down the ale towel, which just made my day, honestly, because that saying, it just reminds me of my dad, because he used to always say it. He doesn't say it as much now, but he used to, honestly, it reminds me of my dad so much. Yeah. And they actually sent me a Her Game 2 one as well, which was just so sweet. But yeah, if you could go on, it's not just Twitter as well, on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, you can like the post. You have to follow both our social media account and Footy Towel social media account, and tag 2 friends. But the competition is still going at the moment, so yeah, enter it before Christmas. It could be a great Christmas present.
It could be a brilliant Christmas present. So make sure you are retweeting and commenting your friends on the post, because you could be in for a win of these great products. And I'm not gonna lie, I want one, so I might enter it myself.
But yeah, just moving on as well, we've had, obviously, we mentioned the last 2 episodes, we've had so much support of other people, but especially fellow football fans and people who have got their own podcast or YouTube channels. So we just want to give a special mention to them, because honestly, they've been amazing, haven't they? And we've had so much fun when we've been on these podcasts. We both went on the Access All Areas one, didn't we, with Aid and Neil?
It was the best thing I've ever done, like in terms of podcasts. Like, it was amazing, and it was so funny and so fun, and it was so lovely to meet, obviously, fellow football fans. But what I loved about it is it was my first podcast as a guest. How equally they treated us, because we're girls, and you know, we have said we've never had hate in person for being girls and football fans. We just had a conversation about football, and it was so fun and so funny, and it was so interesting to hear people at their point of view as well. But for them to be so kind and just not even bat an eyelid that we're girls was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. So
honestly, we was crying with laughter, and there was some moments where we were just belly laughing, weren't we? And we had to compose ourselves, because it was so funny.
It was one of the funniest nights I've had in a long time. So make sure when that is out, you go and listen to it.
Yeah, they're actually Coventry fans as well. So it was really nice to hear about all the different, well, we won't say too much because obviously listen to their podcast, but it's surprising how many links over the years we have actually had with Coventry, isn't it?
No, 100%. And obviously current links as well. So
yeah. Hopefully soon as well, more if we get to Tavares.
If you listen for this petition for Tavares to come back to Rochdale.
Yeah. Put in a word, Cov fans, please. Or Danny Cashman, listening, just give him a text. A PS, don't leave.
Yeah. Bring Tavares and you stay as well.
I want to give a shout out as well to Football United TV, and it's Matt who hosts that. And that was actually, apart from when I appeared on RochdaleAFC.com, that was my first appearance on someone's channel. And oh my God, I absolutely loved it. And what made it even better with that one was Lucy Ford, who co-founded, her game too. It was on our podcast as well. She was on, and it was just about politics with women in football, and it's so interesting. And it was just she's always a great guest, no matter what, no matter if she's been on our show, if she's been on other people's podcasts. She's just a lovely girl, Lucy. And yeah, it was really interesting, that one as well. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them too in particular. What a Ball Ache podcast, and that's with Ant and Gary, who are Sunderland fans. And yet again, with that podcast, those two guys, they just made me feel so welcome, and we had such a laugh. It was just funny, like really funny. And Ant mentioned as well, he's a Sunderland fan, and you just think of some of the stadiums and some of the games they've been to, but he always says, like, from being in League One, his favourite away day was Rochdale.
Wow.
Which is really nice, actually, because I think even Lucy mentioned it as well. And she always says how welcome she feels when she comes to Rochdale. And it makes us feel really good. And it's really good for the club as well, for not only us girls who have said, obviously, we've never experienced like sexist abuse or like negative comments, but for like away fans to enjoy coming. I think that's really, really good. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to the Football League Lowdown, because the guys on there they're so lovely, and they've actually asked if we want to come and appear on their show recently. So hopefully when we both get time, we can come on together. I think that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? We had a laugh last time, didn't we?
Yeah. 100%.
And Neil from Access All Areas actually hosts that show as well.
Oh,
so it'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good to catch up with him. But honestly, the amount of support they've given us, and just the sharing, the retweets, everything helps. So there's so many more people we can name, but they're just a few of them what we just wanted to give special mentions to.
Yeah.
Because they've been really great. They've been really welcoming. And we've appeared on these podcasts, and we're just thankful that they want to share and they want to hear about our stories. And yeah, it's just really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just once again, like, we just can't believe the support that we've had from Rochdale fans, from other club football fans. It's just incredible. We just thank you. It's been really, really overwhelming and just so positive, and it's made us want to carry on, want to do more, and just want to be talking about Rochdale, what we love.
I know, it might not sound like we do in this podcast, because don't get me wrong, we sound miserable, but we're just frustrated, and we just love the club, don't we? We just love them.
All fans get frustrated, and we want the best for our clubs. We want to see us winning, and I'm just sick of draws, to be quite honest.
Yeah, one of them we're not expecting wonders, but we're just ambitious. We just want some.
Yeah.
It's not wrong to have some ambition, is it?
No, not at all.
It's now time to play Hit and Miss. A hit is your favourite Rochdale chant, and miss is your worst.
Here's Dean with his Hit and Miss.
Hi guys, so I'm Dean. Some people might recognise my voice from the RochdaleAFC.com podcast. Just thought I would give you my hit and miss. So my hit would be probably the Mendes Lang song from a few years ago, to the Scooter Logical song, just because it was so different to the normal chants that we normally do. And it reminds me of a great win at Barrow in the FA Cup as well, where everyone was drunken and soaked through the rain. And it was just such a good laugh, and everyone was singing it the whole day. So that's one of my favourite chants. My least favourite is probably just any of them where it's just like the same name over and over again. So like when we're just shouting Dooley or Beasley or anything like that. Not a fan of those. Just want to say before I sign off that keep up the good work on the podcast. Loving it so far. Same goes to all the other Dale podcasts. It's great that so many people are chatting about the club at the moment, and long may that continue. Up the Dale.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 3. If you haven't already, go and check out episode 1 and 2. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, and you can find our podcast on Spotify, Anchor, and you can also, if you've not got any of them, you can also find it on YouTube. We've got social media, which is a day away, and we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So yeah, if obviously you like our stuff, if you've come across us, yeah, if we make you laugh, then go check it out.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.